And behold, it was a white horse. And hell followed with him.
If you already spent any significant time in another Far Cry game, then you already have a solid idea of what you're getting into with Far Cry 5. It's not a bad thing that Far Cry 5 is so similar to its predecessors, because all of them leading up to this one have been great games. The newest iteration changes some of the mechanics that people weren't too fond of, while also doubling down in what makes Far Cry what it is. The Far Cry games have a history of drastic changes in setting and villains, this time setting itself in Hope County, Montana, a quiet town taken over by a local cult. Hell breaks loose as the cult leader Joseph Seed takes his religious war to the dirt roads and farms, killing all those who won't hear the word of God. On the surface, there is potential for interesting and thought-provoking story elements, especially with the supporting cast, Joseph's siblings, who seem to be as committed to the cause as their brother. The story as a whole isn't entirely important though. It's passable, to be honest. But there really isn't anything going on. There's no big story beats. It feels like a string of tasks that you do for some random people before you move on to do an even bigger task. That's not to say these tasks aren't fun, because they can be enjoyable. Blowing up important landmarks and stealing back vehicles for people can be a blast, especially with a friend. This is backed by the solid shooting, the driving working well most of the time, and being able to tackle missions in a variety of ways, especially if things aren't going your way. You will almost always be busy. Players can hunt for animals, liberate compounds, tackle story missions, wingsuit off mountains, or just go for a drive. Thankfully, all of the mechanics of Far Cry 5 are pretty sound. Sneaking your way through enemy territory is stressful, and getting caught only furthered my experience when I was able to mow down all enemies in my sight. It's pretty safe to say there's a gameplay style here for everyone. There is some technical issues. When flying a plane or in a helicopter, there is a good amount of pop-in, and at times some vehicles I was chasing down randomly disappeared, which got annoying when it was the last truck I needed to blow up in order to finish a mission. The companions that tag along are fairly intelligent, they do what they need to, and they rarely make mistakes. Far Cry 5 excels in its world building. Hope County is beautiful, whether you're trekking through the forest or flying high in a plane. There is always a sight to behold and a beautiful landscape to look at. Each character fits perfectly in their environment, and for the most part, even though they're all caricatures of what actual people would be like, they're still relatively believable. Your supporting cast of Guns for Hires are a great way to improve on Far Cry 5's mechanics. For those who stealth their way through the game like I do, you can use Boomer and Peaches to spot enemies and take them out silently. Or, if you'd like to make a scene when you liberate camps, you're more than welcome to use Cheeseburger the Bear or Nick to provide air support. You more than likely know if you're going to pick up Far Cry 5 or not. If you haven't played a Far Cry game before, and you're a fan of first-person shooters, then Far Cry 5 is a safe bet. More than likely you won't be disappointed. The main villains could be a bit more fleshed out and have some sort of interactions with one another, but you will probably enjoy their manic ramblings regardless. Technical issues can be annoying at times, and the AI can be a pain, but they shouldn't get in the way of an overall great experience.
I thought a friendly face might make your atonement easier. Our devoted. We are gathered here to bear witness